So this is my review of Pirates of the Caribbean, the Dead Men Tell No Tales. So this is going to be the good, the bad, and what I would have done. So I'm going to start with the good. Ooh. All right. First, Captain Jack. Can't go wrong. If you like him before, you're gonna love him in this one. He hasn't changed, and I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really more to say. He's just awesome. Javier Bardem plays Captain Salazar, the villain. I think he steals the show. If anything, I would love to see more of him in the movie. I love his backstory. I love the visuals around him are really cool, and his dead crew, the boat, his ship, is just cool. Really creative how they design it, and what it can do in the movie is pretty awesome. So, I mean, it's Javier Bardem. You really can't go wrong with him. I'm a little obsessed with Aquaman and kind of Greek mythology, so any mention of a trident, of Poseidon, you've already won my heart. Karina. Karina is the main female character in the movie. She's strong, she's smart, I like how the society brands her as a witch merely because she knows astronomy, she knows science and math, and she's a woman. I like that part. It's a nice effort by Disney to make a strong, independent female character, but it's an effort. And I'll get to more on that later, but I do like her character. The action, surprisingly, is pretty gripping. Visually, it's amazing. I mean, you've got all these zombie dudes going at it, and they're looking for Jack, and they're running through the ocean. There's a zombie shark, and just kind of when he thinks things slow down a little bit, something pretty cool happens. So that's the good. Okay, so now, the bad. The movie suffers from the same issue that the first movie suffered from, which is too many characters and a lack of focus. So, and when I say by too many characters, too many focal characters. So too many characters who are trying to drive the story at the same time. So you got Captain Jack. Captain Jack walks around drunk, rum, in mud, all this stuff. He's running away from Captain Salazar. Captain Salazar is after this, and then, Karina's got her thing. She's going after. Barbossa shows up. He goes after Captain Jack Sparrow. They're all hunting for the trident, and then you've got Henry Turner. Henry Turner shows up. He's a character we've never met, another character we've never met before. So you have all these people that are running around, chasing out the trident. They're all bickering and going after each other. And then you've got this army, and then you've got some British guy, and then you've got a witch shows up, and you got zombie sharks, and they're all bunched, and they're running around, chasing after, and this is what you've got. A lot of characters, all with main focal goals, and it creates and they're all going at the same time, and it creates a mess. Because of this, I dare you, who's the main character? Hint, it's not Jack Sparrow, weirdly enough. Just like there's debate in the first one as to who the main character is. Is it Will or is it Jack? Both could be right, which I think is a bit of a problem, because it just makes things a bit more confusing than it needs to be. Karina. So, yes, I said Karina was a good, but here's how Karina's bad. Okay, yeah, she's smart. Yeah, she's strong. She doesn't do a lot of action. Like, doesn't do anything physical, and everything that she does, she's in a corset the entire time, because heaven forbid you take a woman out of a corset. I've never worn one, but I've heard they're incredibly uncomfortable. And you've got Henry. Henry is the son of Will Turner. I won't tell you like what his drive is, but he somehow ends up with her, and these two just annoy me. It's when they're together, and it's often she's very, they treat her like she's above everybody because she's so intelligent. Everybody's beneath her. She complains a lot. She is a bit whiny, emotional. So they build her up as this intelligent character, and then you just bring her down with all the stereotypical female characteristics that Disney's kind of famous for. Another one of which is a love interest. I'll get more into this in the what I would have done, but they have to have one apparently. It kind of is forced. Jack instigates it, which is frustrating, but all they talk about is love and how they have affection for each other and how they kind of like each other but don't want to do anything, and it's fake and it's a bit annoying. So that's the bad. And this is what I would have done. And yeah, I know it's the purpose. First thing, Henry Turner. You don't need him. First thing you gotta do is start chopping down all the characters you have and really start focusing. Henry Turner, I know it's nice to bring Will Turner back and have this cool Pirates of the Caribbean reunion because you're kind of wrapping everything up. You could still have that without Henry. Henry is the son of Will Turner. I'm not spoiling anything because you get the story in the first 5 minutes. But he's not as interesting as any of the other kids. He's definitely not as interesting as Karina. He's not as interesting as Jack. He's just not an interesting character. You don't need him. You don't need him for the story to work. The Pirates of the Caribbean franchise revolves around Jack. So I don't... Jack Sparrow. So I don't understand why you wouldn't make Jack Sparrow the main character. And really just make him the main character. Make everything happen to him and make him make decisions. He has to choose to do otherwise. He has to choose to do this so he can move the story forward. Make it about him. And with that, Karina. If you're not going to make Jack the main character, then make Karina the main character. Ditch Henry. You don't need a love story. Not every movie needs a love story. And I've heard stuff about people like, oh, well, you need a love story to sell a script. You don't. Women don't go to see Marvel movies because of a love story. They go to see the guy. They go to see, Chris Evans and stuff like that. So I hate that. You got Karina. She's cool. She's interesting. She's smart. Don't treat her like just another female character. Put her together with Jack and keep them together. She's a bit of a bookworm, but she's got some oomph to her. Jack is the scoundrel who's probably going to try to get in her pants, but she's going to brush him off because she's got stuff to do. She doesn't have time for this, which is going to make Jack kind of have to change a little bit. He could turn from this scoundrel swashbuckler from the first movie to this kind of accidental wise man, this sort of Forrest Gump of the Seven Seas. He has these quick little words of wisdom, and at one point Karina says, oh, I don't want any trouble, and Jack says, well, that's a horrible way to live. Little lines like that sink Jack into this greater pop culture myth and really solidifies him into something much bigger than the movie really is. Big missed opportunity, and all you had to do is put these two characters together and get rid of the love story. Okay, Barbossa. I like Barbossa. I like what they did with him. I'm not going to tell you what, because it is pretty cool, pretty interesting. But again, get rid of the witch, get rid of the British Army, just get rid of all the stuff that surrounds Barbossa, and focus on Barbossa. I don't want to come up say what you could have done because it might ruin some of the story. But the Pirates of the Caribbean world exists in a fantasy world of myth and magic, which lets you get away with a lot. And there are several scenes that feel like they're trying to cover gaps that aren't really there. The audience can piece things together. You just got to give them a little nudge, but you don't need to give them the whole anchor. Like that. Captain Salazar. Love Captain Salazar. Keep him as the main villain, and his backstory should have happened in the very beginning. The backstory happens halfway through the movie, which makes no sense, and it completely drives off the pacing of the story. Start with him. His story is more interesting. Javier Bardem's performance is more interesting, so use him. I'm a big believer in your story is as only good as your villain. And when you've got a villain as cool and with so much potential as Captain Salazar, it's a big missed opportunity when you kind of drag his backstory halfway through the movie, and you only have him pop up against Captain Jack once or twice. So that's my take on Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Men Tell No Tales. That's the good, the bad, and what I would have done. So thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please leave a comment below. If there's another movie you'd like to see me give the good, bad, and maybe what I should have done, go ahead and leave a comment. If you didn't like this video, sorry, doesn't matter. There's a lot of great movies coming out this summer, so I'm sure to be doing more videos. Wonder Woman comes out. I'm really looking forward to that. The Mummy, it comes at nights. It's going to be awesome. And The Dark Tower, and much later, I can't wait for it. Make sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and please visit my website, www.danielconyers.com. On the website, I have a collection of short stories. I just recently posted a short story this last week, screenplays, and you can check out a section about my very first novel coming out August 12th, called Owen of Anthea, The Warlock's Curse. It's the first of 4 in the Owen of Anthea series, and I'm really excited for that. So thank everybody for watching, and